Last time we knew our hands could help us with the multiplication table, especially the tougher numbers from 6 to 9. So we give some kids tools to use so that they could use their hands to remember the multiplication table. But to do the special angle triangles, the 360, 90, and the 45, 45, 90. And that's what I'm going to show you today. So stay tuned. So here's the magic. So sine theta. So you just count the number of fingers below the angle of choice, and then you square root that. It's over 2. Cos theta will be the square root of the number of fingers above the angle of choice, over 2. And then tan theta would be the square root of the number of fingers below the angle, all over square root of fingers above the angle. Now let's go and apply that to all these special angles, the 30, 60, 40, 30, 45, 60, 0, and 90. So sine 30 is the square root of the fingers below the angle over 2. So now 30 is right here, and the numbers below is 1. And the square root of 1 is just going to give you 1, so just 1 over 2. So that is your answer there. How about cos 30? It says it's the square root of the fingers above over 2. So how many fingers above 30? 1, 2, 3. So that gives me the square root of 3 over 2. How about tan? It's the square root of the fingers below the angle, which is the square root of below 30 is 1. So it's just going to be square root of 1, which is 1, and that over the square root of number of fingers above the angle. So above 30 you have 3 fingers and square root of 3. So this is the sine. Now let's look at sine 45. So 45 is right here. So now we're looking at the angle 45. It says the sine is the square root of the number of fingers below the angle, which is 2 fingers. So it's the square root of 2 over 2. And the cosine also, it's the number of fingers above the angle, square root of that over 2. So therefore, above 45, we have 2 fingers. So it's therefore cosine will be the square root of the 2 fingers over 2. Now, how about tan 45? It says is the square root of number of fingers below over the square root of fingers above. So therefore, this will be square root of 2, which is 2 are below, over square root of 2, which is the above, and that would give me 1 when you reduce it. Okay, let's go to the 60. So now we're right here. Sine 60. So square root of the numbers below, which is root 3 over 2. Cos 60. Cos 60 is square root of the number of fingers above, which is 1 finger. Square root of 1 is 1 over 2. And tan 60 will be the square root of the number of fingers below, which is square root of 3, over the square root of the number of fingers above, which is over 1. And that will just give me, so over 1 will just give me root 3. Now, how about the 0? So 0 is right here. So the sine is the square root of the number of fingers below. There's no numbers below 0. So no fingers below where 0 is. But that's where 0 is. So you have 0 over 2, which is just going to give me 0. Cos, the square root of number of fingers above divided by 2. So you have square root of 4, because we have 4 fingers above the 0. Square root of 4 over the cos is over 2. And that's basically square root of 4 is 2. And 2 divided by 2 will give me 1. How about tan 0? So it's the number of fingers below, square root that. So 0 fingers below, and then over the square root of the fingers above. That's 4 fingers above the angle 0. and 0 divided by anything is 0. Just look at the angle 90. Sine 90, it's so sine is the square root of number of fingers below. So square root of 4, because we have 4 fingers below there. Square root of 4 over 2. So tan 90 is, so sine 90 is 1, because square root of 4 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. How about cos 90? So it's square root of the number of fingers above 90. There's nothing this way, so there's 0. And you know 0 over anything is going to be 0, because here you have 0 over 2, which gives you 0 for the cosine. How about the tangent? Tan 90, it's the number of fingers below, you square root that. So basically square root of 4, because below 90 is 4 fingers. So square root of 4 over the square root of number of fingers above. Above is 0, and the square root of 0 is 0. You know we cannot divide by 0, so that's undefined. Isn't this amazing? I mean, you know, you could remember the 30, 60, 90 degree triangle and the 45, 45, and know it that way. Or here's another way to look at it. It's a little bit of more work. You have to memorize this here. But just the funny thing is, you know, how much we could do with our hands, you know, the times table. And now this is just phenomenal. Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like my video, comment, subscribe, and tell others so they can benefit. Bye-bye.